Hi garden friends, welcome to the channel. I'm Era and this is Gardening on Purpose. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're a subscriber, welcome back. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. I garden in Georgia, Zone 8A. It's the first weekend in April and it's time for a backyard tour. All right, so turning the camera around, guys, I'm very happy with what I'm seeing here in the backyard in the first week in April. We actually just got some rain and it's going to rain a little bit on and off for the rest of the day. So starting off, we have the shade garden. You guys know I love the shade garden. I have two separate shade gardens. I have one in the front and one in the back. And as you can see, my shade garden is alive and well. The hostas peeped out in early March, and ever since they peeped out, they have been going. I have hostas in here. I have corabels. I have brennera. I also have bleeding heart, aqualesia. Also have lungwort. And I also have one last plant here in the shade, which is the Daphne Adora, which is right here. Got this guy for $18 and I'm very happy with the way it's looking so far. But backing up here, you're going to see this is what it looks like. Very happy. Now, these two aqualesia here, also known as columbine, those are brand new. I just got those. You saw when I put it out in the video showing you what I bought on clearance. But this guy here, the pink one, has been here for years, right? This pink guy here, looking really nice. Now, the flowers are turning the other way, but this is what it looks like. Right, that's the pink version of the blue aqualesia I bought recently. But otherwise, you can see all these different types of corabels, also known as heuchera, and the brennera, which I'm very happy with. I moved these brenneras from further over in this garden because the brenneras were getting too much sun. And I've noticed that this guy here needs total shade. I'm sorry to say, but it's total shade unless... if you don't give it total shade, for me personally, here in Georgia where we get humid and hot, this guy will retreat really early and get burnt out and get burnt up. So I'm very happy that I moved it in the fall and it's seeming to like it. So here's another brennera there and here's another one here. You might have seen a short of the lungwort, also known as Pollinator, when they were in full bloom. They're still tethering off, but they're looking great and very happy. As you can see, I have chartreuse hostas, blue hostas, green hostas. Very big fan. I have so many varieties. I have Diana Remembered. I have Halcyon, Rainforest Sunrise, all kinds of stuff. So Sweet, Autumn Frost, really nice varieties. But I definitely will do a separate shade garden tour once they get really nice and big. Also in the shade, but in a different bed, we have some Lenten Rose, also known as hellebore. These guys here do really well for me. They are evergreen for me, and they have kind of already passed their blooming, their main blooming point. There's still some straggling blooming here. Got some of these from Growers Outlet, either my county's annual sale, and I bought two from Home Depot, and they do really well here. Moving on, and from that point, I'm kind of in part sun to part shade, which is where I put three of the other aqualesia, the blue guys that I got there. And then these three hostas, I thought I had moved them and put them a little bit far back over there, but I'm going to leave them here. I think this one is Autumn Frost, or this one is So Sweet, and this one, of course, is either Minuteman or Patriot, right? So this is what it's looking like. And then, of course, you remember these guys here, which is the Sweet Alyssum that I also got on clearance. So they're in here because they need some sun. They actually need full sun, but because they're short-lived and because they spread a lot, I don't want to put them somewhere when I have to dig them up again and it becomes a thing. If I have to dig them up, I prefer to dig them up from right here. Right? Moving on, we have the Candy Tuft. Now, these three Candy Tuft here are the ones that I've always had, right? That's Snow Sulphur. And then remember, I bought these Candy Tuft. These guys here, I bought this Tough Candy. And these were also clearance. At the same time, I bought these other guys as well. So this is a newly planted one. I believe I had some asters here that didn't perform well, which is why I even had the space for it. But yeah, love me some Candy Tuft. Behind here, we have Invincible Limetta. This is a hydrangea. And then also in this bed are bloomstruck hydrangeas that are beginning to wake up. Behind that, we have some fashion azaleas. These are the azaleas that bloom in the spring only, and they bloom beautifully. You will see a short, or you must have seen a short already, where I did a video showing how they look. They are so pretty. It's a shame they only bloom in the spring, but I need to prune them once they're done blooming. Behind that is pretty much where all of the other hydrangeas are, the ones that can't take too much sun, the big leaf hydrangeas, the macrophylla. This is where they all are here. A bunch of bloomstrucks, a bunch of other ones like the eclipse from the folks at these guys here, the folks at First Editions. Yeah, lots of hydrangeas. Further back, we have the yellow anise right here. The yellow anise is right there that I bought. Those are still here. Seeing a couple of weeds though, guys. Look at this big weed right here. But yeah, this is a macrophylla hydrangea, guys. Even more of the spring blooming only hydrangeas. These I had gotten clearance, guys. Same thing with that fashion azalea I just showed you. This is a Joanna. This is also blooming. And then here we have a Delaware Valley White. There's a Delaware Valley White right here. This guy here, all $4 from Lowe's. Years ago I've had them. I mean, probably 3 or 4 years, and they all were clearance plants. This is where I'm trying to protect my strawberries and trying to protect my potatoes. And these chipmunks don't have any respect for me at all, apparently, because, I mean, I try to be working in cohesion with nature, but they just keep messing up my stuff. And even though I have the chicken wire over it, they still find their way in it, guys. But those are where my grow bags with my 3 potatoes and my strawberries. Moving further up, we have daylilies. These are all daylilies that will bloom reliably for me every year. Most of the daylilies that I have, they were bought by Bare Root. And over the years, they've grown and grown, and they do really well. Behind the daylilies, we have Dutch iris. This beauty here are irises that I bought the bulbs years ago, and I have them all over the yard, and they come back for me reliably. They bloom in the spring. They bloom when it's cool, right? They are so pretty. Now, this particular one here is called Blue Magic, and a lot of them are budded up, and a lot of them are blooming. Really like these guys. Definitely a sight to see in the spring garden before things really heat up. Backing up here, even more of the daylilies, and then I have some Cat's Meow Nepeta. Cat's Meow Nepeta right here. Now, these guys are all ones that were here all this time. Got these on clearance from Lowe's. These are the Proven Winners brand, and they just look amazing in my garden. Not sure what is going on with my gardenia, and I know you guys are probably tired of hearing about the gardenia story, but all of a sudden it's looking like that. It was quite fine. I'm probably going to pull these things out. I think it's probably sick, and I need to take it out and find something else that actually wants to be here in this garden. And then I have things like salvia here and sedum here. Now, these 2 guys I'm going to move. These are actually lantana right here. This is the Miss Huff lantana that can't stay here. This was just a holding pattern for it. Of course, Miss Huff is going to get pretty big. I cannot leave it there, but I don't know where we're going to put it yet, so that's why it's even there. Further up is where I have most of my German bearded irises. I have 2 more in 2 separate places, but they seem to be happy here. A lot of these need to be divided, but it's going to have to wait until the fall. I just don't have the time to be dividing right now. I have so much work to do that needs to get this garden where I need it to be. So I definitely will divide in the fall. And I actually am beginning to see some buds, which I'm very happy to report. You can see right there. They're coming, guys. Can't wait to show you. Keeping it moving, this is where I have some of my roses. These are the roses that I bought the True Bloom. Remember, I bought a whole bunch of True Blooms. They're going to stay in the container for now until I figure out what I'm doing. And then, of course, remember the columnar apples. They're still doing great. right? Didn't expect any apples this year and maybe not even next year. And that's not the rush, right? I just want to establish these guys. They're going to stay in these containers. Hopefully in the next 2-3 years, I might see something, but I'm not worried one bit. I did not buy them thinking I was going to get an apple this year or next year at all. Got these from Home Depot for $32 and I read the reviews on them. People seem to like these things and we'll definitely keep you updated on how they do. I revamped this bed. This used to have an azalea in the middle. I removed the azalea and then I put some oriental lily bulbs in here. I also put some of the salvias that I bought, the 3 for $10 from Lowe's. Remember they had that sale? So what I did was I put the cat's pajamas nepeta and then the New Dimension rose salvia, another nepeta, and then a New Dimension blue salvia. There should be a dahlia here. So I have to make sure it's going to come back for me this year because as I tell you all the time, dahlias, 90% of the time they do come back, but there will be 1 or 2 that don't, right? So this would be a really nice color. So I anticipate pinks and blues and reds and yellows in this bed. Can't wait to show you. So this bed here might look a little bit like much, but it's really not a bad thing. It's actually reseeding. What you're seeing here is a lot of reseeding on the part of the black-eyed Susan. Now, the thing is, and I don't remember, and I tell you all the time, I don't remember what variety of black-eyed Susan is. What I do know is that this thing reseeds prolifically. Now, you could say reseeds, yeah, you got free plants. Yeah, I never have to buy black-eyed Susans again, but they're all over the bed. And I tried my best to pull as much as them out, but they just keep on coming, guys. So what I'll do in the fall, I will take my time and try to get them all out and then give them for free, maybe move them somewhere else or put them in a container so I can really control them. But this is where the black-eyed Susan is. I have a autumn joy sedum here. I have another darker sedum here. I have a daisy here and another of the sedum. Another thing that's also in here was the fall in love sweetly anemone. Right, and I pulled that out because that guy was performing okay, right? Thought I got it all, but as you can see, it's still in here. That's the fall in love sweetly anemone that I need to pull out. And in the center of that is the pearl glam beauty berry, right? That guy here is a beauty, blooms really, really well. I actually bought it. One of the few plants I buy online, because you guys know I'm not a big fan of buying plants online that's charging you all kinds of numbers when you can just get it at Lowe's and Home Depot for $10, right? Either way, they bring in the pollinators. They have this nice vase format. Love it, love it, love it. So here's my arbor that I got from Amazon a few years ago, and it's still holding up out here in the elements. As you know, the plant that I have in my arbor is wisteria, right? And the wisteria is all budded up, as you can see, looking really, really nice. It's in a container in the arbor. It's not in the ground, and that's just the way to control it. Now, this is not the invasive wisteria, but this guy here is still an aggressive grower still, so I am not going to put it in the ground, but very, very happy with the arbor and how the wisteria is coming along. Keeping it moving, guys. Now here is an update on the wood chip. Still looking great. I have seen some weeds. But that's okay. Not worried about it. You know, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. You can't stop all the weeds. Now here is a little area here that, remember I had all these nice stones, pavers that I had gotten free from my neighbor? Well, I'm just going to leave things the way they are right now, guys, and just have this little thing here where I have all these pots and then I have plants in the pots, right? So here I have my Bernardine clematis that is looking so great and happy, guys. It's in a container and I'm going to keep it in a container, right? It is all budded up, right? And then I have other things like the mullein. Remember I gave you guys a short on this guy here, new addition to the garden. And guess what, guys? I got another peony. Did I need another peony? No. But I got it for $8 at my Lowe's. Here it is. The Carl Rosenfield peony, half off, $8. And it is already budded up. So it has 2 buds on it. which hopefully will bloom. I'm not gonna move it into the main container yet because I'm scared if I do it, it's not gonna bloom, right? And even though I know I'm supposed to plant peonies 1 to 2 inches down, don't plant it too deep, it will affect whether or not it blooms. I already know all this, but I'm just waiting for it to bloom. Then when it's done blooming, I will put it in the main pot. In the meantime, the ones that I already have, the Vogue, the Inspector Laverne, and the Sarah Bernhardt, all three are looking nice. Remember when I showed you guys these were breaking ground? Ever since they broke ground, guys, they have been on their way and getting ready to put on a show. And like I mentioned in those other videos, these guys are full of ants. Ants do help them with the blooming. Don't worry about the ants. Don't try to remove the ants if you see it. And then I have other things, that's kind of temporary. This guy is actually a limelight that will not stay here. As you can see, still in this container. This needs to go somewhere else. But before I put it where it needs to go, I actually have to move a dwarf Burford holly. And again, I have to be careful how I use my arm. So that's just been a whole thing, right? Then I have mountain mint here. Mountain mint is going to stay in this container for now. This guy here is supposed to bring in a lot of pollinators, which I'm very excited about. People have been talking about this thing, about how it's going to bring in all these pollinators, which is why I got 2 of them from the folks at Growers Outlet, and they're going to stay in the container for now. This guy here is another sedum right here. And then this is Rainbow Euphoria that stays here and does really, really well in the garden. Other things I have in here are like daisies that, again, hold in pattern because I don't want this to be what you're looking at for the rest of the summer. And then also the Russian sage that for whatever reason looks rough in the ground, and I had to take it out the ground. And ever since I put it in the container, I'm seeing new growth. So very, very happy about it. And I think this is just how I'm going to leave it. Have this little brown situation going on here, and then having a plant in the center. So can you imagine what this is blooming, guys? We're going to have red, pink, yellow and white, purple, white. Really, really nice. Here are the 2 beds in the back, and again, things are looking great. I don't know if you noticed, but I have 2 new guys in the garden here, those ducks, and I don't even know if they belong inside. Chances are they don't belong outside, but they're going to stay outside. I mean, that's fine. I could probably weatherize them. Those I had gotten from, I believe I got them from Marshall's for $29 or something. I think they're so cute. Don't know if they're going to stay there, but I like them there right now. Okay, so plant-wise, things are looking great. All the mounds are coming up. Every day I come out here, they're getting bigger and bigger. Here's the mound for the New Dimension Blue Salvia. 2 mounds for the phlox. I believe this is the famous wide-eyed phlox. And then this is the German bearded iris I had mentioned earlier that was budded up to be bloomed. Of course, you recognize this guy here. This is the Autumn Joy sedum mounds. The Millennium Allium mound is looking great, as is the Uptick Coreopsis. For this plant here, I'm going to have to wait until it blooms to know exactly what it is. I had gone online last year and bought some plants, and I made the mistake and confused them. But there's only 3 options it could be, and I had bought 7 of them. Once they bloom, I'll know what they are. So I had bought Sweet Spire, Clethra, and Buttonbush because I wanted to buy 3 things that were able to take wet soil, right? Went online and got these, and then I mixed them up. So I won't know yet, but I'm liking the fact that they are happy and they came back, right? Got them as a quart. Now I can probably see that these 2 are probably the same thing because I remember buying 2 Clethras, 2 Buttonbush, and 2 Sweet Spires, right? This one looks different from the others, so this might be the Buttonbush. Not sure, but I definitely will keep you guys updated. I'm just so happy that they are leafing out and they're happy. I spent a lot of money on these things because I just don't see these things in the store. And, these online folks, they're asking you to pay for these little quarts a lot of money. And then you got to pay tax on it and then delivering all kinds of stuff. So it ended up being a lot of money for these little plants. But either way, I like them enough because they do bring all 3 of them. The Clethra, the Sweet Spire, and the Buttonbush, they all bring in pollinators. They all can take wet soil and they are blooming white. This is the Blue sea holly, also known as Hydrangea, and I can see the spike is getting ready to go up, guys. Very happy with this guy. When I first bought it, it didn't bloom the first year. That happens a lot with a lot of these perennials when you buy them in the rhizome form. They won't bloom that first year. But that second and third year, it went crazy. What I like about this is that it actually brings in other pollinators that the other guys don't bring in. Usually you'll see the pollinators, bees, butterfly, birds, right? This guy brings in all kinds of little things I've never seen before, and it definitely does well. It has these really nice thistle-like purple blooms. Can't wait to show you when they bloom. Here's one of my red hot pokers. This is a guy I bought as a rhizome in Walmart, and the first year, again, didn't do anything, just gave me the foliage. And the second and third year, it was a beauty, guys. It has this really nice orangey yellow spike. You can see here it is, looking really, really nice. Can't wait for this thing to bloom. My Beyond Midnight Bluebeard is leafed out and looking great. Another plant that blooms longer. It will go all the way down to the frost. And it has these really nice blue and purple flowers. And just like the Hydrangea or the sea holly, this guy will bring in other types of pollinators other than the birds, butterflies, and the bees. This is my Pearls of Perfume Mock Orange. Saw this guy in Lowe's the other day. They brought it in off the truck and it's already in this really nice white bloom. I bought this guy as a really bad plant, guys. This guy was looking rough in Lowe's. It was on death's door and I said, I didn't have one. Let me just pick it up just in case. I nurse it back to health and look, you can see it actually has buds. So it should be doing really, really well this year. Can't wait to show you how it does. This beauty here, got this for $24. So of course I got it for $12 on clearance and it is hardy from zones 5 to 8. So I have 3 rows of Sharons and they didn't take too kindly to that freeze we had. Again, that freeze was a whole week, so it was rough on them, but you can see that they got beat up a little bit, but you can also see the new growth coming there. So that is good to see. And here's another one that is beginning to give me back some new growth. So I'm happy about that. And then another one, happy about that. I think I have the blue chiffon, pink chiffon, and another one I can't remember right now. Of course, I had moved around and put some lily bulbs in here to give a little bit more color. This is actually an offshoot of a Mr. Lincoln rose that I haven't moved yet, one of my favorite roses. And also you see I have a whole bunch of daylilies in this bed. I also have my regular roses in here, which need to be cut back for whatever reason. I'm not sure why I'm not cutting it back right, but cathedral bells are in here. That's the cathedral bells rose right there, right there. And then I have Rio Samba as well, and Love and Peace. This is a Scarlet Colorama crepe myrtle that I got on clearance from Lowe's. It too got beat up in the freeze and it was looking rough. I was like, oh, it really beat it up. But as you can see, new foliage has come along. So I'm very, very happy about this, especially since these guys are hardy from zone 7 to 9. So they really can't take too much cold in a container, right? Before they seriously get damaged. These cannot stay in a container. Crepe myrtles, this particular one here, will grow up 20 to 30 feet. So its root is very aggressive. It will not be happy in a container. But I have to cut my Bradford pear trees down before I can put these anywhere. So they're definitely in a holding pattern. They have beautiful, beautiful blooms, guys. Can't wait to show you when they do bloom. So I have 3 Japanese maples that were gifted to me for Valentine's Day a few years ago by the mister. And he went online to mrmaple.com and got me 3. Very happy about them. They've always been in containers. They were actually in smaller containers because when they first came, they were really small. But I up-potted them because they were beginning to have more root than soil. And by that time, you need to transplant, right? This particular one here is the Oregon Sunset. Really, really pretty. Really, really nice. All 3 were damaged from that freeze. And this guy, he bounced back pretty nicely, right? So that's what that one looks like. This one is the Katsura. And Katsura is a little bit slower to recover. And you can see all this is damaged leaves right here. But you can also see a new leaf right there. So I'm happy to report that Katsura is also recovering, as I was really, really worried about it, especially since it's a gift. When things are gifted, I like to, not that I could do anything about the fact that it froze, but also I just don't want this plant to die. This one here is Winter Red, and he too has recovered nicely like the Oregon Sunset. This guy has these really nice yellow leaves, but turns nice and red in the fall. This is where I have my edible garden. You can see I have my garden beds here that I either got from the folks at Vago Garden or I bought on Amazon. And this is when I damaged my arm, guys. I was moving leaves and I hurt my arm and I was moving dirt, and this is what stopped me in my track. So I haven't really gotten too far on this, but my last frost date is somewhere between the 15th and the 20th of April. And I direct sow. So nothing's going to go in here before the 15th. But I did check the temperatures, and we're looking really, really great even today between now and the end of April. It's going to be gorgeous. There's nothing close to freeze. I could plant, but I have other things going on I could be doing before I rush to do this, because there's no rush. I have a long season. I can plant all the way to October. There's no rush for me to go plant right now. But this is where I'm at with this guy here, because I hurt myself, couldn't do much after that. I have a lot going on here, but I definitely will keep you updated on how things are going. This is my sitting area. Nothing special going on except for the bench and, of course, an elephant. And I have my little sign I got from Walmart. Weeds are coming through here, so I have to pull these out. But otherwise, this is where I sit and relax and listen to the birds. I definitely want to show you guys this part. This is actually where I keep my plants in a holding pattern while I'm working on putting them in the ground that same day, right? You can see a lot of things you probably recognize. I have them on a tarp, and yeah, this is just in the back where you don't really see it too much, but this is where they are. That is pretty much it for me today, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know how things are going in your garden. Please like, please share, and please subscribe. Remember to hit that notification bell so you can be alerted in all my new videos. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.